Hey everyone, welcome to another webinar. It's really great to have all of you guys here today. I'll be hosting today's webinar, so I'm really excited about this. Alyssa, our usual lovely host, she's actually off in Bali right now for her honeymoon. So I'm in charge of this, and I'm actually joined by two lovely guests. I have Lorrie from Creative Pod UK. We'll get her to introduce herself later on. And then we have Katsia as well, who just joined the pod this week actually. So this is her first webinar. So definitely, give her a warm welcome. And I'm really looking forward to the webinar today. So guys, before we start, if you can let us know what is your biggest fear or biggest challenge in managing a client's TikTok account? Let us know in the chat. We'd love to know sort of like what's the biggest barrier, your biggest fear of managing a TikTok account. And Lorrie is going to be here to show you her behind the scenes and how she approaches it. So I'm really looking forward to it. So Lorrie, why don't you give us a short intro, because I know we'll go deeper about Creative Pod later on, but I'd love to know a little bit more about yourself and the company that you work for.
Yeah, so my name's Lorrie. I've been working at Creative Pod for 2 years in September, so almost 2 years. So Creative Pod are a creative agency in England, in Crawley, south of London. I'll do a bit more of like an intro when I get started my presentation. But yeah, I've been working there for 2 years. I manage a couple of clients doing their social as a marketing exec. Before that, I went to uni and did fashion communication and promotion. So I've had sort of a journey of doing sort of creative things, marketing things that's led me to Creative Pod. So, yeah.
Awesome. And thanks so much for being willing to share your knowledge with us when you reached out to us to collaborate. I was really excited because we did it once, and I know it's going to be a really fun time today as well. Katsia, I know you just joined us this week. I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah, you can hear me well. Yes? Okay. Yeah, if you can give us a little bit of intro about yourself, that would be great. And introduce yourself to our lovely community here. And I think a lot of people would be interested to learn a little bit more about yourself as well.
So hi, everyone. My name is Katsia, and like Joe said, I just joined. So it's my first live, and I'm so excited to be talking with everyone and just have this whole community thing going. So I've been working in social media for a couple of years now. I initially started in the beauty space, even worked in entertainment, and now I'm working in tech with HeyOrca. I'm really, really excited because I feel like it's such a fun product, a fun community, and I can't wait to see it grow and just be a part of it.
Yeah, welcome, Katsia. And I told Katsia it's going to be really fun. You guys are awesome people. So I'm looking forward to the next 30 minutes or so. So we have a couple of answers here in terms of the biggest fear. Views are under 300 by Ellie. Autumn say getting video content. Ellie, I totally know what you're saying. Like you get stuck in the 200, 300 views. So maybe Lorrie has some words of wisdom in terms of how we can jailbreak that. Getting video content, keeping up with the trends. Getting content from clients seems to be one of the biggest challenge for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Increasing organic engagement. And Micah says, I look fresh. Thanks so much for noticing my new haircut. Getting more views despite consistency. Gaining brand awareness, low quality content. So I guess like one of the biggest things that agencies have is just getting good quality content from clients and clients participation. So perhaps that's something that we can talk about too in a bit.
Yeah.
All right, thanks guys. Keep your questions going. And before I pass the time on to Lorrie, I'll go through a couple of housekeeping items. So if you do want to turn on your closed caption, here are some instructions. If you're on Chrome, your instructions are on the left, and on Mac as well, you can actually turn on closed captions if that's something that you want to turn on. All right, so the instructions are here. So feel free to take a screenshot, or go ahead and turn them on. We also have a newsletter. So I'm not sure how many of you guys heard about us through the newsletter, but we have a newsletter called The Daily Brief. And I will have Katsia put the link in a bit into the comment section. So you can follow us. We basically put some of the latest things in social every single day. So definitely follow us. And also we have our TikTok account, Instagram, and our Facebook community as well that you can find us. And I'm going to put our Facebook group here. And shout out to everyone who has joined our Facebook group as well. I'm really, really excited to have you guys here. Also, we do have a fun draw at the end of every webinar. So we'll be drawing for an Amazon card for one of the people who engage. So if you want to have a chance to win an Amazon gift card, definitely keep up your engagement, and we'll draw for one lucky winner. And for whoever is a HeyOrca customer, you'll be entered into a draw to win one of these ball caps as well. And so definitely keep up your engagement. And for HeyOrca customers, we want to give you one of our merch. And our latest merch is this ball cap here. I don't even have this ball cap yet, so I'm really excited for you guys to get it. And if you got your ball cap or if you got one of your swag, definitely tag us on social. We'd love to share that on our platforms as well. Also, next week I have the description here. It's a little bit it's a wrong description here. Next week we're actually not going to be talking about mental health. It was last week. We'll be talking about AI prompts. So we'll be learning how to write effective AI prompts, and I'm going to be putting the workshop link right here. So join me and Ketsia, and we probably have a special guest as well. We'll be going through a step-by-step on how to write effective prompts and how to use AI tools to do that as well. Lorrie, out of curiosity, do you use AI tools in your day-to-day?
Not in my day-to-day. We've definitely sort of experimented with it. We, as an agency, wanted to kind of suss it out and see how it is, but we didn't want to sort of lose our own sort of voice in it. But, you know, it can be a useful tool. So
yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely still like early on. So there's a lot to learn. So we're looking forward to learning together with you guys. So next week, it's going to be the AI prompts. Apologies again for the description there, but the link is in the comment section. We already have 100 of you guys sign up for that. So definitely looking forward to next week. All right. Without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and switch it over to Lorrie's presentation, and we'll dive right into everything to know about TikTok. We'll go back to the first slide.
Cool. Getting little spoilers there for everyone. Fab. So yeah, thank you for introducing me and having me on. So I'm Lorrie. Like I said, I work at Creative Pod. And Creative Pod are an award-winning full-service marketing agency, and we are based in Crawley, which is south of London. We work with our clients to become their outsourced creative department for a fixed monthly fee. And we cover sort of everything marketing, website and design that involves sort of online, offline, and in-person activity. So we're sort of helpful for all your marketing needs and website needs, really. And my role is sort of a marketing exec. So I manage multiple clients, and part of that is managing the TikTok accounts. So we've kind of seen in the past year the interest in our clients wanting a TikTok, wanting to know how to run a TikTok, how to manage a TikTok, sort of go from 0 to 100. So we sort of had to figure out a strategy and how a process of how we were going to help our clients and how we were going to run their TikToks. So yeah, that's really what I've been doing and helping with, and yeah, what I'm going to show you guys kind of my process. Lovely. So just a bit of an overall of what I'm going to go through. I'm just kind of going to go through all the stages, really: the planning, then the filming, then the editing, scheduling, and top tips. So I'm just going to run you through sort of what I do, what we do as an agency, and sort of bits of knowledge I've picked up along the way that might be able to help you guys.
And Lorrie, did you guys started like experimenting with TikTok as an agency internally first before your clients approach you guys, or was it the other way around? Was it triggered by like a client coming to you guys, and that's when you get into TikTok, like, chicken or the egg, I guess?
Yeah. So we definitely experimented first. I think sort of as soon as kind of maybe it was 2020. I think it was before I started, the TikTok account was created, but we weren't really posting much. It was just more of an experiment. And then when I came on, I wanted to sort of get it going a bit more, and we would do sort of weekly TikToks, and then we had clients become interested, and then at that point we at least knew a little bit. So we definitely experimented first and then had clients interested, and now they kind of work parallel.
And you guys seem to like really enjoy yourself on TikTok, and I'm always really impressed how you were able to involve like, you know, a lot of people in your agency into your TikTok like content. Like, I know it's a little bit of a tangential question, but I think one of the biggest thing is like, how do you get people involved in saying yes to being part of your TikTok skits and
Okay,
and
first of all,
content?
just don't even ask. It's a yes. It's a yes from the beginning. So I think what we've started doing is making it more of like a meeting. Like we'll schedule it in with them. So we'll be like, hey, we're gonna pop some time in your diary next week to film a TikTok, you know, and then it feels a bit more. It's not that you're not just jumping on them like, are you free right now to film? It's a bit sort of like pre-planned. You can show them the inspiration in the video, and then they can feel ready. Because I know a lot of people sort of, if you jump on them and they're like, oh, I'm not ready,
Right.
I'm not in a good outfit, things like that. So they know it's coming, they're planned, and they know what to expect. But I'd say mostly just the more people that are in it kind of snowballs. So when me and my colleague Hayley first started doing it, people were a bit nervous, and then we'd get another person, and now sort of everyone's been in it, so everyone kind of knows what to expect. So I'd say it's a slow process, but if you make it feel a bit formal, they feel like they can't say no.
Right, and just like making it fun. Hey, like if people are having fun, I guess like they're more open to the next one as well.
Definitely.
Chris mentioned that you guys are really kind. My message is just to stick the camera in your face. And is it true that no dickheads is actually your company slogan?
It is. It's our motto, and it's on our wall in our office. So it sets a good tone when you come in.
Very direct.
Perfect. Lovely. So just to kind of introduce the planning and kind of what we spoke about at the beginning with some people's questions. So as an agency, because we're an agency, we're not always on site or with our clients at all times. So how we put our content together is mostly on content days. So we'll go down, we'll meet with our clients once every couple of months and sort of batch film lots of content. And that'll be a mix between sort of proactive and reactive content. So content that's always going to be relevant for TikTok, FAQs, what they are, who they are, what they do, things like that. And then also some reactive trends, if there are any, that we can sort of jump on in the moment. And then we sort of drip feed that content over the next couple of months and sort of twist it into trends to kind of look seamless and like we've not just all filmed it in one day. So that's sort of the main process of what we do filming content wise. And then just kind of general about TikTok and what not to do and what to do on TikTok. So the number one thing is stop trying to sell, really. I think companies, when they first get onto TikTok, they think it's like their other platforms where they just kind of say, this is what we do, buy this, but, you know, listen, get our service, use our service. But you really have to sort of integrate it into the organic platform and kind of go by the 3 pillars of entertaining, educational, inspirational, and just make sure that your content, you can slip some sales ones in, but it needs to be mixed with the organic sort of natural content that's on TikTok. Otherwise, it'll feel very salesy and not as authentic. Another thing we've seen a lot is a mix of long and short form content. So I think when TikTok first came about, it was all very short, snappy content. But now we're seeing longer and longer videos and sort of vlog style videos that can be multiple minutes. So kind of just experimenting with different lengths and making sure that you're testing all sort of different formats to see what works well. So yeah, that's kind of the initial planning stage.
Micah's question here is, sorry, Katsu, do you want to go first?
It's fine. You can go first.
Micah's question is, do you see more people really staying for the 60-second videos? Yeah, that's his question right there.
Or like seeing, like, so if people are watching for shorter ones or longer ones?
Yeah, like I guess like the assumption here is that you want to have like shorter, like, you know, kind of content because our attention span's so fleeting. Like, do you see more people really staying for the 60-second videos? And perhaps my question is like, what kind of content would be suited for like a longer one, like 60 seconds and more?
Yeah. So I think it is interesting because I've actually seen some good success on TikToks that you don't ever think are going to be as good or as suited. So one of my clients had a bit more of an interview style, and that was a lot longer than the other videos, and that actually got more views than some of the shorter, snappier ones. So I think if you start a sort of 60-second TikTok off right and have sort of a question that's intriguing and that's going to make people stop and want to watch the full length, then yeah, we've definitely seen people watching all the way through. But I think it's all in that pivotal first kind of second on whether they'll continue watching. But yeah, we've seen success in both sort of long and short.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's why there's the hook, right? Like people talk a lot about the first 5 seconds around, people deciding whether to move on to the next one. Sorry, Katya, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I love the whole stop selling part, because I feel like that's the number one thing. Like the content on TikTok is so different than the content on regular platforms.
Yeah.
Are there any kind of brands that you feel like are a great kind of inspiration for you in terms of not creating too much salesy content online, that you feel like we could share with the group?
This is going to be the most random thing ever, but I really like the Olympics. And as soon as the last Olympics finished, the Paris Olympics created a TikTok, and I absolutely love it. I think it's so good. It's not too salesy. It's a perfect level of sort of comedy, and taking the piss out of itself, but still sort of encouraging you to watch the Olympics. So as a bit of a random one, but I do really enjoy the Paris Olympics TikTok.
I love that.
Paralympics.
Oh, I think no, just the Olympics, just the.
Oh, okay. So that's the one. Cool.
And I think also Haley, just to kind of bring up their questions, they asked if you have any non-local clients, and if so, how do you film? Do they film their own content? Because they have clients all over the country. Okay, sorry, the chat just went up. They have clients all over the country who are interested in their TikTok, but trying to get them to film even a short video is very difficult. So what do you have to say for that?
I'd say, again, I'd try and make it sort of a formal process. So I'd put some time in their diary. We had a client that we have ended up being able to go and visit them, but we thought that we were going to have to do it virtually. And instead of just being like, can you film this video for next week? We were going to put a time in their diary where we were going to have a call, and they were going to film from their end, and we would just be there to sort of help and support virtually, just so that it's more of it's not sort of on their to-do list. It will be in their diary. They will join and they will film in that slot. So I think, yeah, putting out sort of a diary, an invite, a meeting invite, so that it can't really be put off and it can be filmed and you can be there to support, but not sort of in person, I'd say, is probably my suggestion.
It's kind of like how you guys did it internally, and you guys translate that to your clients. Yeah, if it's not on your calendar, you're not going to do it, right?
That's kind of what we've learned.
Yeah, that's good.
Perfect. So sort of what along those same lines that we've been talking about, just making sure that you're creating native content on the platform. It's sort of quite easy to want to sort of just blanket post and make videos that work for other platforms and just pop them on TikTok as well. But TikTok is its kind of own universe, and it sort of runs differently to other platforms, and you need to make sure that the content that you put out on TikTok feels and looks like the other content that you're getting on TikTok. Otherwise you can kind of scroll straight past it. And I put a stat here about sort of ad blindness, and how if you are a TikTok user, you might notice sort of every 5 videos it will be an advert, and you can almost spot it within half a second and you scroll straight past it, because it's not a TikTok, it's not an organic TikTok, it's already trying to sell you something. It doesn't look like it was created on the platform, and you can sort of not even notice it and scroll straight past. So it's important to make sure that all your content feels authentic to the platform, and sort of aligns with all the other videos that it's going to be alongside.
Any thoughts around using TikTok's photo feature? Maria's question is, we have some clients with big photo library, and we've started to create photo compilation videos. Would you recommend this at all? Yeah,
I'd say the number one thing for TikTok is quantity. I say it later, but quantity over quality almost, and just to try and experiment with as much content as you can. So I think definitely if they have a great resource of photos, it's worth using. It's worth trying out all the different ways to kind of show that. The sort of the photo slide style, also using those photos sort of in a video as well, and sort of just recycle all that content in all the different formats and see sort of which one engages well with your audience.
Yeah. I think maybe you'll expand on this later, but you talked about when we were offline, you talked about you met with a TikTok rep and they just told you point blank that it's about quantity, not quality, and not to obsess around quality in that sense. Yeah, I'd love for you to unpack that a little bit more, but maybe that's in your presentation as well, so I definitely don't want to jump the gun as well.
We can tease it on early. But yeah, so they just kind of said that just get as much content as you can on the platform, right, and then TikTok can sort of learn your content and your videos and what you do, and it'll help sort of better position you, and it'll know your account more. And not to be afraid to use the same videos in different ways, slightly tweak them, and repost sort of in different formats. So, but yeah, I'll go into that in a bit.
Yeah, I have another client that told me, we just try to put as many donkeys out there because we don't know which one of them will turn into a unicorn. So that's the way of saying the same thing. But yeah,
I agree. A perfect analogy. Lovely. So here I just kind of have a weak and strong, and I took some screenshots of a couple of TikTok ads that I got over a couple of days to kind of show what I would say doesn't look right for the platform, looks a bit like it's just definitely been recycled from maybe YouTube ads and things like that, and one that you can sort of tell they know TikTok, it's authentic, and it looks like the other content that you see on TikTok and that you wouldn't be so fast to scroll past. Mm-hmm. So I have a couple of things on there. So as you can see, the ones on the left, you can tell that they've not really been created in TikTok. So if you're sort of in a scrolling pattern, you will be able to tell quite quickly that you're not getting just another video, you're getting an ad, so you'll probably want to scroll past it pretty quick. It doesn't fit in with the feed, as I talked about, so they feel quite curated, quite heavily branded, as they say, that they're not using sort of the TikTok text, things like that. You can tell it's sort of just been pasted straight into TikTok as an app, as an ad, and it doesn't feel authentic to the platform. The ones on the right, however, they're using the native text, they're incorporating trends, and they're sort of more organic camera setups. They feel more personal, and so in turn a bit more sort of trustworthy, and you feel that it's just sort of another TikTok you're seeing, and it's not so sort of in your face salesy.
And Casey has a question here. In order to capitalize on most trending audios, do your clients have their accounts set up as personal accounts or business accounts?
This is like such a big question in the world of TikTok. So we always have it business accounts. We will just work around. If we can't use an audio, we just don't use an audio. I think we would rather sort of follow the rules. And if they're a business, we use a business account. And if there's certain sounds we can't use, we'll just find others. And that's sort of worked for us. There has been a couple where, you've wanted to use it and been like, oh, can't use it. But then we just move on and we think of more content, more ideas. So yeah, we stick to business for our clients.
Also, I think we skipped Micah's question.
Oh yeah.
So I want to make sure we kind of address it as well. But they asked if do you have a setup month where you pull old content to see if it had high engagement, impression, views, and all that stuff? That way you have something to like go off of when you build, your scope and everything. So
yeah, I think we just try and look sort of, we don't look too far back. We're quite sort of like ever moving. So we'll look at maybe the past couple of videos, kind of learn from that, and then go straight into sort of the next week content. We do kind of have sessions where we look back and see the engagement of some of our sort of older, the past couple of weeks content. But I think TikTok's ever changing and the algorithm's ever changing. So we try and just look at the past couple, see, okay, this longer form one worked well. This, this intro worked well, a voiceover worked well here. And then sort of use that quite quickly and sort of let that sort of dictate our next couple of videos. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it just, like you said, like TikTok just changes all the time. And with me, when I was working at an agency and we had clients, there was a lot of ad hoc content where it was like just sending it through Slack, like, hey, this is a trend, we need to hop on it now, then approve or decline. But yeah, I don't think like waiting a month to set up is like a good idea, unless you want to have like obviously your hero content and stuff like that. So
yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of fast paced, and it can get a bit overwhelming. So I think you've just got to sort of step back and realize that if you miss a trend, it's not the end of the world, and if you're a bit late to a trend, that's also not the end of the world. And you never know what sort of past content's going to start picking up engagement. Another thing that the TikTok rep said to us is that it doesn't really matter when you post it. When you first post, that's when you're most likely going to get the most engagement and the most views. But sometimes randomly, a TikTok you posted months ago will start getting engagement out of nowhere. So as much as you can you can give yourself the best chance, you can learn as much as you can about the platform, there's still always the mystery. And so you can just do your best, but you can never, you never want to beat yourself up about sort of not jumping on things and not getting things approved quick enough, because you just got to sort of have fun with it, like we said, and just keep going with as much content as you can think of and do.
I think we have a couple more questions, but perhaps because of the sake of time, we could go through a couple more slides and we'll come back and take some of the questions.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, this is kind of the bits we've already kind of gone over. So TikTok now is really basing its sort of success as engagement. So it's all about how long the duration of the user engagement reflects sort of how well TikTok thinks your TikToks have done. So it's all about prioritizing sort of the high engagement content and making sure that you're capturing the audience attention from the very beginning. So when we're filming and planning, we're making sure that we're getting straight to the point early on. We're grabbing people's attention and we're creating that sort of connection early on, so that we're hoping that they'll keep watching and sort of stick with the whole video. As Joe talked about earlier, top hooks. So I've just listed some top hooks that are a good place to sort of start when you're creating some TikToks for your clients. So we always just go down a list of top hooks, see which ones are relevant, which ones you can use, and that can give you kind of a good starting point for that more proactive content that you can use at any point. So yeah, you're welcome to screenshot this and use it for later for your clients, but just finding what's relevant from the list, seeing if you can link it to your client, as these are sort of what we've been seeing as the most engaging sort of starts.
Yeah, I also posted a free resource that we compiled as well. 32 top hooks that you can use in your next TikTok or Reels video. So if you guys are interested, definitely head to that document. And Lorrie, I guess like when you mentioned like skip the intro and go straight to the point, I guess would you be able to expand a little bit about that, in terms of what you mean by that?
Yeah, so I think when you get sort of a professional, if you've got a client that's a bit more professional, a bit more corporate, and you sort of encourage them to go onto TikTok and you get them behind the camera, they're very tempted to sort of start and say, hello, my name is, I do this. And already, if that's for a TikTok, someone's already scrolled past. So I think you've got to sort of cut any content at the beginning of a video that might sort of bore or slow someone's sort of thought process down. So making sure that if you're answering a question, if it's a frequently asked question video that you're doing, you're getting straight to the point. It's starting really engaging, and that you've not got sort of any sort of hello or even really a breath. I think if you filmed it outside of TikTok and you're bringing it into TikTok, there's that point where there's that second just before they start speaking, and I'll make sure when I edit the TikTok, I'm getting it down. So literally they're starting talking when the video starts, so that you've not lost anyone. So yeah, I'd say just get it straight to the point. No hello, no no breaths, no pause.
Just go right in. Yeah.
Straight in. Yeah.
Cool.
A couple of more sort of tips we follow when we're filming TikTok. So like I said, don't create a long intro. You need to sort of hook the viewer within 1 second. So get straight to the point. When filming TikTok, make sure that you're filming like wide angles. So if you're doing more of an interview style, it can be quite tempting to sort of get a nice close-up shot. But actually, when you get it into TikTok and you get that text on, it might sort of crop the edges. So I'd rather have a wider shot and then be able to zoom in slightly on the platform. And then I also say, make sure you organize the clips in your phone. I say this because if you're like us and you film sort of content days that you're then going to use for the next couple of months, it can be really overwhelming if you just film like 50 clips on your phone and then you walk away from it, and then in 3 months you've got to find that one clip from a million days ago. So I'd say try and keep it organized in your phone. Delete anything that you know you're not going to use in the moment. Create folders in your phone and just make sure it's organized so that when you still are making content in the next couple of months, you know what you filmed. Filming all your content vertically, I think we pretty much all know that now, but just a top tip, and I think clients are suckers for forgetting that. So just a reminder to them if they're filming their own content, and that you can film transitions or add them in afterwards. Another thing I think we're sort of experimenting with, and we haven't sort of done enough at the moment, but is filming transitions at the beginning. So having a bit of a swoop or something at the beginning you watching. I think we've been seeing that more and more on our feeds as a way that when you're sort of endlessly scrolling, you see a transition right at the beginning, and that kind of catches your attention. So something that you can actually film instead of add in the editing platform side of things. Lovely. And then again, just a top tip of keeping track of what you film, what you're filming, what's drafted, and what you have planned, so you don't sort of miss out on any trends or sort of pass sort of any topical content. So just making sure you're organized and that it's you know what you've got drafted and that they aren't getting too old and things like that. So just keeping organized on top of your content, really.
Awesome. While we're sort of in the filming, I guess can we take like 2 questions and we'll go into the editing? Haley's question is, in addition to these, is there anything else that you recommend to tell clients who might be filming their own videos?
Oh, great. Everything. No, I mean, I'd say if you could, it might be worth sort of having a whole session before they film anything on sort of top tips. And if it has to be virtual, still having it virtually, maybe having sort of a whole session where, you tell them about sort of layout, where they're going to put their phone if they're filming on a phone, lighting, doing it in front of a window. So I think it's worth sort of maybe having a session with the client beforehand, just so that they're not going in sort of blind. And again, it's adding that level of formality. I think clients sort of don't take TikTok too seriously, which is fine, and it can be fun and can be lighthearted, but also it means you might get really terrible content that you then can't really use. So I think making it more of a structured and saying, okay, no, actually, let's have a session about how to film best content, then they might sort of take it a bit more seriously when they're filming. So I'd say sort of tripod, microphone if possible, one of the little clip ones, and lighting really is like the top 3 things.
Yeah, like I think for me too, like when, again, back to my agency days, one of the things that we had was like kind of like a best practices doc where we basically kind of had all, like you said, all the things like film it on a tripod and do this and that. But also I think what helps a lot is having visuals. So sometimes like if you want them to shoot a specific shot or like whatever it is, when you create your whole content doc where, I forgot the name of it, but in your content doc, make sure to add like screenshots of like specific shots that you want so that they know like, okay, this is what they want from us, instead of just kind of guessing or leaving it open to interpretation in terms of like what they're supposed to shoot. I think helps a lot as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And just one question from Micah. Is it better to film on your phone or a professional camera? Does it make any difference at all?
I always just prefer my phone. I think it's easier. I think it's all in one place, which means you can be a lot quicker. If I film it on my phone, it's already in my camera roll, and then I can put it straight over to TikTok. I'm not getting things off my laptop. I'm not having to go between things. It's not on a drive. It's not there. It's all on my phone. It's all in one place, and I can drag it straight into TikTok. So I prefer my phone, and I think it feels, like I was saying, more sort of organic and more natural and more authentic when it sort of looks not as high quality. I think for certain things a camera works well, but I think for TikToks I have a soft spot for the phone.
Yeah.
Lovely. Perfect. So kind of what we were speaking about earlier, but really with TikTok, quantity over quality is what we're seeing is working well, and just experimenting with as much content as you can. So using sort of the same type of video, but trying to do it in different formats. So if you had sort of an interview style one or a Q&A where someone's speaking, you could try sort of a voiceover to start with, like just a normal voice, a voiceover with sort of an effect. Then you could do sort of a montage with music. So using that same content, but sort of recycling it into different formats. So at the bottom of the screen, I've done sort of a lifestyle creator, and she's filmed sort of her cleaning her house, and this is sort of like her aesthetic and her account. And on the left, she's got a vlog style. She speaks you through the whole thing, and she's doing very much a voiceover there. In the middle, it's much more ASMR, and it's stripped back, no music, just the sounds. And then on the right, it's much more fast paced, and it's a music montage, and it's the same clips, it's the same sessions of her filming, but she's recycled it in different ways. And that is what we're seeing as kind of is best practice, and what we all need to be trying doing, and getting the most out of the content that we've got, and not to be afraid of the fact that it's the same content. So yeah, and just seeing sort of what engages well.
Oh, this is awesome. So basically, it's the same topic, but you just like basically even within video itself, like you just like freshen up the way you're filming it and sort of the vibe of it, but it's the same topic but different angles. Because sometimes when we think about repurposing content, we're just thinking about like repurposing the video, repurposing into a social post, repurposing, but you can think within repurposing within TikTok as well. And so you can, by one topic, be able to actually repurpose it into multiple videos. So.
Yeah, exactly. And see what engages most. And if you do this enough times, you might be able to see a bit of a trend of, the vlog style works best. And then you can sort of start to prioritize that content over the others. But yeah, sort of experimenting and making the most out of your content is sort of the top tip at the moment around TikTok.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like even reusing clips for like other videos is a good thing. Like, don't feel like, hey, I've used this clip in like one video. If you look at creators, a lot of creators reuse the same clips in different videos because it might just, make sense. For example, like a morning routine, like tying their shoes, instead of every time re-recording tying their shoes, or just using the same clip. So don't be afraid to also do that. I think that's also really great.
Yeah, definitely. Lovely. So then just going on to scheduling. So for us, what we've seen work well, and kind of keeps our clients most sort of on top of communications and approvals around TikToks, is we create them in TikTok, we screen record them, and then upload that to HeyOrca. And again, kind of what I was saying, where I think some clients don't take TikTok as seriously as some of the other platforms. When we've sort of uploaded it to HeyOrca and it's alongside all their other platforms, it's a way for them to sort of take it a bit more seriously, see the content alongside all their other LinkedIn, Facebook posts. And it's sort of the perfect way that clients can see it, make amends, leave comments. But through kind of screen recording it and then uploading it to HeyOrca, and we set it to notification posting. So again, this means that if they approve it, it won't go out. So you don't have to worry about a screen recording going out. I'm definitely haven't been guilty of that. No. So yeah, make sure it's notification posting. And then you'll get a notification when it's ready to go live, and you can just post it straight from the platform. So yeah, that's kind of the process we've found works best when we're getting approvals from clients.
Nice. Thanks for sharing your HeyOrca experience, because I know we have a lot of HeyOrca customers as well on the webinar. So with TikTok, just for HeyOrca customers, you do have the ability to either select direct publishing or notifications within the post itself. So if there are certain posts that you want you want it to directly publish, you can actually just on the post level say, for this one, I want directly publish. For these, I just want notifications. You could also disable any publishing. That way, clients would just use it as just approval. But I think the great thing is that you are able to just make those changes as you go along, because different posts has different objective. And with HeyOrca, I just want to make sure that you're aware that you are able to make those tweaks on the post level as well. And HeyOrca obviously mocks up how the video is going to look like before it goes live. I think we have one final slide.
Yeah, just final slide. Just some sort of general tips for success that we've sort of seen and that we've seen floating around as sort of best practice. So using the TikTok native app. So as we've said, sometimes it's not possible if your clients. If you're not with your clients all the time, you have to pre-film just on your phone and then bring it in. But yeah, you know, it's still said that if you film it in TikTok, it gets better engagement. So it's worth trying if you can and seeing if you see a difference. Utilizing voiceovers or talking directly to the camera, we've seen massively increasing in the past couple of months, and really sort of most videos, like we said, if they're being recycled and used in multiple ways, will always have a voiceover version, and we're seeing sort of that getting really high engagement. Adding text on all the videos to accommodate users who watch without sound and help with optimization and categorization. So TikTok's sort of going into the sort of SEO side of things, and it's using all the words that are either said, written in the caption, on the video, in the hashtags, and that's how it's finding where to put your content and who to show it to. So if you add text and sort of captions to all your videos, that's giving TikTok the best chance to give your videos to who you want to show it to. So yeah, we're seeing that as a top tip sort of everywhere. Another one which I thought was interesting was TikTok rewards good citizens. So engaging with other accounts. I think also this is quite sort of a difficult one for agencies, because if you're managing sort of 5 accounts, it's hard to go on and scroll and engage on all 5. So what we try and do is, if we're posting, say at 4 p.m, 3:30, we'll go on and have a bit of a session of scrolling, liking, commenting, just so that TikTok knows that you're using the app and you're not just posting and then sort of walking away. Prioritizing clear sound quality. Again, I think there's so much competition on TikTok and there's so much content that if you can sort of have clear quality, clear clear sound, clear visuals, that will sort of give yourself the best chance at getting noticed sort of in the loud noise of the TikTok world. And then another just a tip was avoid pushing the volume above 130%. So I thought that was quite an interesting one, and clearly TikTok doesn't want you to blow their users' earphones up. So keeping that at just a normal 100 and not going anywhere past that. And then finally, just cross-promoting your videos. So we always post them to the Instagram stories straight after we posted them. And then remembering to sort of add your TikTok to your clients' websites and things like that. Again, I feel like TikTok's sort of seen as this sort of not at the same level of LinkedIn and Facebook, but you know, making sure that that is on your website and that you're still shouting about the fact that you've got a TikTok, just for that sort of different audience and that different angle. So yeah.
So Katsia has a underrated tip too, to make sure to wipe your camera before shooting. That is very true. All right, we have a couple questions. Katsia, would you be able to take some of the questions for Lorrie while I actually go ahead and choose a winner for our Amazon gift card? Sure. And also, if you are a HeyOrca customer, can you post in the comment telling me what is one word you would use to describe HeyOrca? And I'll put you guys into a draw for the ball cap. And yeah, Katsia, if we can go through some of the questions, that would be awesome.
I think some of them are like editing related. I think a lot of people have a lot of questions about editing.
Yeah.
And Ellie was asking, based on your experience, how long have you spent on editing one video?
Oh, this is so sad, because I think the video I've spent the longest editing was like one of our least successful. And I think that's always the way. So it was one of the ones we did for Creative Pod. And I still have a soft spot for that video, even though it was very painful. And it ended up like 3 of us were working on it because it was really stumping us. It was one of the ones where there's lots of clips and it's to a sound. And so it needed to be on the beat. And we kept not being able to get it on the beat. I'd say that took us like maybe like 3 hours. So yeah, that was a sad one for how it's always the longer you spend on them, the worse they do.
Yes, exactly. Same here. So Emily was also asking, should you post those same clips at the same time or sprinkle them out over time? So I think we were talking about repurposing content, right? And so they're asking like, hey, do we sprinkle them out, post them back to back? How do we do it?
I'd say post them back to back. I think that's what we're seeing the larger influencers doing, and they're not afraid to be recycling their content. So I think we shouldn't either. So yeah, I think sort of if you're having sort of three videos that are sort of the same, I think just go for it like one day after another, and also that makes sure that when you're comparing sort of engagement, it's the most accurate because they've not been sort of large gaps in between them. So yeah, I'd say go back to back.
Yeah, no, that's good. I feel like influencers or creators are a great resource to like kind of see how to create content. Autumn asked, I have a talking head client. I'm not sure what that means, but do you recommend me putting on an instrumental sound behind every video of him speaking to further reach?
So I'd say experiment. Like I've said, throughout the presentation, I'd say try and do one with an instrumental that maybe is sort of a classic, that's not trending sound, one that's just been going around for TikTok for ages. Then maybe a trending sound, the one that you've seen just in the last couple of days, and then maybe one with no sound, and see how that works. I know that a couple of weeks ago, I was seeing lots of TikToks coming up saying that actually not using trending sounds, they were seeing more engagement. So yeah, and like we've said, TikTok's ever changing, and a couple of months ago when it was, oh my God, definitely use the trending sound, I feel like TikTok listens to us and says, we'll flip it around the other way. And actually now videos when you're not using any sounds engage well. So yeah, I'd say experiment with all of it and then see what sort of sticks.
Oh, that's a very good tip. So we also have Ali. They said, like, do you have any recommendations for nonprofit organizations, specifically on TikTok?
I would say do lots of research on TikTok and see what other companies such as yourself are doing. I'd say that's, again, really useful. I think because of the amount of content that is on TikTok, that a lot of it is shared and a lot of it is inspired by other videos. So when we first get a client that's interested in TikTok, I usually have a look and see what other companies such as them are doing and what sort of content they're doing and get inspired from them. So I'd say, yeah, if you feel you have a niche or you're not sure what content to put out, have a look to see if there's any competitors or even sort of companies such as yourself, but in different countries, what they're doing and just see sort of what other people are doing. That might give you a bit of a good start.
Mm-hmm. And I think also,
sorry, go ahead, Katya.
No, sorry. I was just going to say, like, at the end of the day, I feel like TikTok is a great way to show the company's personality, which is something that I feel like it kind of lacks on other platforms. So definitely don't feel like you need to be very like traditional when it comes to TikTok, and just show personality. The staff, I feel like, is always great as well.
Yeah, Katya, I was going to say, like, just for the sake of time, because I know we're 2 minutes over, perhaps I can announce the winner. And Lorrie, I know it's late, so thanks so much for coming on. It's Lorrie's in the UK, so it's like past the work time. I was going to say bedtime, work time. And but if you have a couple minutes, perhaps we could take some questions here. But I'd like to just announce the winners of the gift card and also our ball cap. So the winner of our Amazon gift card is Haley Fields. Haley, you are the winner for our Amazon card. So I will be reaching out for with that card in a bit. And the winner for the HeyOrca ball cap is Sarah Cox. Sarah, I will be reaching out as well, and you will be one of the very few people that will have a HeyOrca ball cap. And Lorrie will have one as well, part of this. But thanks so much again, like everyone, for joining. But I'm not sure, Lorrie, do you have maybe a couple minutes for us to take one or two questions?
Totally fine.
Cool.
Okay, sure. We had a great one from Stephanie. So they were saying, what are some of the largest differences between doing well on TikTok Reels and Insta Reels? Or TikTok, I guess, and then Insta Reels.
I'd say TikTok is a lot more sort of like personal and a lot more entertaining and a bit more behind the scenes style, like we've said. And I think Instagram Reels is still very a bit more business, a bit more formal, a lot more branded. Whereas TikTok, as you've kind of said, it's how you portray yourself in TikTok isn't how you portray yourself on other platforms. You kind of have to commit yourself to the TikTok algorithm, and that the TikTok is a lot more informal and funny, whereas Instagram Reels, I think you can still be quite curated, still feel quite branded. So yeah, I'd say Instagram Reels is a bit more professional and TikTok's a little bit more sort of casual and authentic.
Yeah, for sure. 100% agree with that. Okay, so JC also said, any tips for captions on TikTok? Sometimes I feel like on-screen text is better than a thought-out caption.
Yeah, so is that caption is in like the written caption afterwards. So we kind of experiment with doing sort of funny one-liners and then doing slightly longer where you're getting those nice keywords in. So TikTok said sort of it's recently brought in a bit of a categorization feature, and if you're on your video and you can see the search bar at the top, if in that search bar it says sort of something related to your video, then it means it's been categorized. And TikTok said that it's sort of getting that from the keywords that you're saying, that's written on screen, that's written in the caption, that's written in the hashtags. So we tried to use a lot more sort of keywords and buzzwords. So for our Creative Pod one, we tried to get sort of marketing. We'd try and say marketing. We'd get marketing written on the screen. We'd get marketing in the caption. And I think we were seeing good traction with that. So I'd say try and sort of keep it lighthearted, and funny, but still try and get the sort of buzzwords that you want the video to be about. And yeah, we really tried to stick to that and try to use our the keywords that we wanted the video to be about throughout. And I think it did help. So
you make sure that you actually say the words as well, not just
if possible. If not possible, then we'd just try and make sure that it's on the screen text and it's in the caption and in the hashtag. So yeah, they're sort of the basics 3 where we wanted to see it, to see if it did help, and I think it did. But again, there's always anomalies. There'll be ones where there won't be any caption, it'll do really well. So but sort of best practice, what we've tried to do is pick sort of a keyword that we want the video to be about, and use it written throughout on the screen, in captions and in the hashtags.
Cool. I know we have still a lot of questions, but I think we're out of time. So really, really appreciate everyone joining. And if it's your first time coming to a webinar, looking at you, Ketsia, I hope you enjoy your first time with us, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the next one. The next one is next week. We'll be talking about AI prompts, how to use AI and how to write effective prompts together. So it's going to be a really interactive session. So I'm going to drop the link here again. But thanks so much again, Lorrie. Thanks again for taking time out of your day to come speak with us. We really appreciate it. And Ketsia as well. Thanks so much for coming for our first webinar. First of many.
It's been so fun. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.